What is everybody thinking about currently the war in Iran? If you think the war in Iran is still something that you think is a good thing, go ahead and press one. If you think it's bad, we should get out of it. You're not supporting it anymore. Press two. So one, if you're good, and two, Ryan's offended. He's unsubscribing. He said he's probably never subscribed anyway. Uh,
I'm gonna leave.
so press one if you think the war is a good thing. Nah, maybe good is not the right word for it, but if you're still supporting the war in Iran, press one.
Or just
Press two if you think it's time to get out. We got a two so far. Come on, press it, press it, press it. One, if you think Iran is a good, we should continue, and that we're not done. Follow Trump's lead. Or two, you're telling Trump we're done with this. Get out. It's time to get back to worrying about just America. Barb says one. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. What else? What do you think, April? If you were on this, would you press one? Would you press two?
I don't know. I want it to just get done with. I like Trump's idea. Like I want to leave NATO. I don't think Europe thinks in our best interest anymore. They don't help us out with anything. I want Trump to develop the Western Hemisphere, and then we can rule the world.
Okay. We're going to talk about some of those subjects, but you didn't really answer the question.
I think he needs to hurry it up.
Yeah. It's time to shut the door.
But I get
on
why
it.
he's
You're
doing
thinking?
it. I think I get why he's doing it.
Okay.
We can go into that in a minute.
Well, so let's kind of break down the timeline of this geopolitical chokehold that we have with the Strait of Hormuz. So let's make sure everybody knows. First of all, the war started, I believe, if I'm right, it was Well, I have the dates here, but I really didn't research that. But on February 28th, the U.S. and Israel launched a coordinated airstrike on Iran. So that's when the war started. Iran warns it will forbid passage through the Strait of Hormuz and begins blocking traffic immediately. Now, we really didn't hear about it immediately, though. We've only, probably the last 3 weeks, it's been something that the news is just constantly talking about. March 2nd through the 4th, Iran officially confirms the Strait of Hormuz is closed, claiming complete military control. Yeah, they complete military control my butt. They don't have control over anything.
I don't think they do. They're too small. They're not developed enough. I mean, they're wealthy, but
yeah. A month later, April 8th, pretty recently, a temporary ceasefire is agreed upon to reopen the strait. 4 days later, April 12th, Trump announces a U.S. naval blockade of all Iranian ports and ships. So this is, I think, Vance went there to negotiate with them. They couldn't agree on a nuclear deal out of that. So Trump basically says, he pulls the whole "I'm not fired, I quit" type of routine and says, "You're not blocking it, I'm blocking it." And he blocks it with the U.S. naval ships. And no one in, no one out. So Iran was kind of letting people in and out. Some of their,
some of their
buddies
allies,
like China,
but
very few. There was only like a couple ships that went in and out, but a couple of those ships carried, lots and lots of oil. April 13th, the U.S. blockade officially begins. April 17th, Iran announces the strait is open. So that was just yesterday to commercial vessels. April 18th, President Trump declares the U.S. blockade remains in full force. Iran immediately reverses course and recloses the Strait of Hormuz, and they even fire on some of the ships. I think they were firing with just regular guns with these big
the
still
little
ships. So
machine,
it's like shooting a BB gun at a house.
Just pinging off the side.
It's just not going to do anything really. But anyway, so it's just this back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and there's no really any. A lot of people are very confused on what's going on. Even me, I was like, is the strait open or is it closed? Are we letting some ships through? So from what I can see, we're really not letting anything through. There has been a couple ships that have gotten through, but this has caused like a huge change in where people. Well, first of all, so like China, for example, they get 50% of their oil from the Strait.
Yeah,
Now,
well, it travels through the strait, not from Iran.
not
They
from
only
Iran.
get like 20.
It's like 12 to 15% from Iran. But you got to remember, like on that strait, you've got Saudi Arabia, you've got Qatar, you've got the I can never remember the United Arab Emirates, United.
I
Arab
always think of
Emirates.
the airline
You've got Iraq
with the pretty
you've
ladies
got-
and the hats.
Yeah, you've got all these people going through, that or all these ships that go through the strait to get the oil and then take them to their country.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all that's blocked, and that's 50% of China's oil.
Yeah.
Now, China has, from what I read, China has like almost
Reserves.
like a 4 to 6 month reserve supply.
I heard they have until June 8th. I watch a military strategist, and
I've heard
he said
June.
June 8th.
Yeah, I've heard June too. So, we've already been in this war for about a month and a half to 2 months. So June kind of lines up with that 4-month-ish, range. So they're not feeling it super hard. And they can also get oil from other places. Now,
Yeah, but they have that pipeline from Russia, but that, it's already at capacity. Like they can only pump through so much through it. So it's not like it helps, but it's not going to it's not going to fix the problem. They're going to have to either get it from somewhere else where it doesn't travel through the strait, or that strait's going to have to open back up.
Yeah, I agree. The other thing that we've seen this happening, again, this is where a lot of people say Trump's playing his 4 or 5D chess game. So what a lot of people
I'm so sick of that analogy. They need to get another one.
Yes, I don't.
It's running. It's tired.
It's ran itself.
Yeah.
I understand. Well, here's another thing to look at that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. But super tankers, there's been a surge of super tankers going to the U.S. Gulf, the Gulf of what? Not Mexico, America.
Oh yeah.
The Gulf of America.
I was gonna say Hamas.
What? No.
I'm sorry. I wasn't listening for like 2.5 seconds. I was like, wait, he asked me a question.
We were at it was funny today. We were at some soccer games today in the morning, and I looked up and there was a bald eagle that was flying around, and it was just kind of weird because it was in this open field and it was there for a long time. It just kept on doing circles, and I think you'd said
He's just cruising.
"What's it doing here?" And I said, "It's looking for Hezbollah and
Hamas."
I think I said Hamas and Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, he's going nuts, isn't he?
We'll talk about that a
piece of
little
work.
bit. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But anyway, getting back to the super tanker. So just to give you pre-war numbers. So pre-war, we averaged 27 tankers a week in the Gulf. So 27. Today, 171 crude tankers are steaming towards our ports. 127.
And where are these going? What ports?
I'm sorry, 171. I just went dyslexic here. They're going to the Gulf. For May, 28 super tankers are booked. So they already have 28 super tankers that are booked. Normally, super tankers, there's only about 7. So they're saying that's a 460% increase.
Can you hear us?
Pre-war. What?
Can they hear us? Someone said we have dead air.
Lily, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Yeah, they can hear us.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure that we were.
So 460% increase already, and these are just bookings. That's huge. So this is where we can say, well, that's a big difference. So it says we are exporting record light sweet crude, but our Gulf refineries need heavy sour crude for the Middle East to run efficiently. because we can't get that heavy oil through the strait, U.S. refineries are in the global bidding war for alternative supplies, keeping domestic prices high. The price at the pump right now, for example, pre-war, now it says in Illinois we're at $3. Now that's the Chicago average always brings everything up. We were at 285, 280 here, somewhere around there. Today it's $4.32. So there is a national average jump of about 25% since the war began. That was only a month and a half ago. That's a huge jump. So people that are pressing to, I would assume, and I would like to know if you're pressing to because you don't agree that we should continue with this war, then I would like to know, is that solely because of the gas prices, or is it because of other reasons?
And what are those reasons?
Yeah.
Like what reasons is it? If it's not the gas, what is it?
Yeah. For me, I'm torn. I think we've pretty much accomplished what we needed to do there. Well, let's talk about that. So, a lot of people say, a lot of left-leaning people or political people will say we weren't able to do what we needed to do, and we didn't win the war. I would say that's bullcrap. The U.S. has, the first day of the war, we killed their supreme leader. So let's compare it to us. Has anyone been killed on our side, like our president? No.
Nah.
We also killed at least 40 top leaders of their government. No political leaders have been killed on our side. Iran casualties range from about 5,000 to almost 8,000. We've lost 15 people. So if
is that including the people they killed?
What do you mean?
Is that including the people Iran killed?
No, because the people that they killed, like if you think, and some of these are definitely civilians, but remember, before
we usually target military people.
Yeah, it's just bombs go off and accidents sometimes happen too. You got the school, those types of things will happen. But you compare it to us, and every soul is important, but 15 American troops have died. So, and then if you compare dollars, I think we've caused over like $100 billion of damage. They've caused about $800 million in damage to U.S. bases or airplanes that have been shot down.
That's not
comparable. It's not even comparable. Now, Trump, the only thing that people will say is, now Trump really didn't promise regime change. He never said that.
I think that's what most people were hoping for, because they were wanting the Raza Pahlavi to get in there.
Yeah. I think everybody was hoping that, and I think that would be the ultimate win, to get a westernized leadership, Iranian in there. But that is very hard to do unless you're willing to put ground troops in there.
Yeah.
And that is Trump's promise wasn't really, his main thing that he said, he might have said no new wars, but his main thing was no forever wars. So what is forever? I think when we were arguing, I had said, this war will last about a month and a half. We're a little bit past that now. I think you were at 3 to 6 months. I'm guessing that's where this is going. I think Trump is seeing that there's economic benefits of this war. Not just, we're not there to, at least right now, we're not there taking their oil, but we are getting so much more people coming over and buying our oil. You got some hair that's going on?
It's like tickling the tip of my nose. It's driving me nuts. I'm trying to just get over it, but it's not working.
All right, just going back to Eric's kids' names, we got Ryan throwing out many suggestions. Colton Grady, Nash Grady, Luca Grady, Kai Grady? Kai? No. Luca Grady. That's got the Italian vibe. I kind of like that. Maverick Grady, I think it's played out. Max Grady, I like Max. I do like Max. It's like a old...
Max?
A little bit older.
Maximus.
Classic. Yeah, I like that one.
Still stuck on Theodore?
you're stuck on, is it Theodore or Teddy? Is what you
Teddy, both. No, Theodore, you call him Teddy.
Yeah.
If any of our girls have a boy, I'm going to heavily influence.
I know. Yeah. All right.